EFCC is here to tell Nigerians the identity of the owner of the shop, and Nigerians are asking whether or not the Legico shopping plaza, Amodu Bello Way, Victoria Land, Lagos, is not owned by anyone, and the owner of the plaza won't be able to identify his or her tenants.
The governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayosede. Well, now the big question is the ownership of the monies on one hand, the process and manner in which the operations have been carried out, that on one hand. Let's probe further into this matter. You will get a benefit of knowledge and inspiration about this issue from my guest tonight on the program. Joining me from Abuja studio is a private investigator. They say he's a professional whistleblower, and he's the chairman, George Ubo Whistleblowers Network. Many thanks, George, for coming on the program tonight. A big question here is, are you surprised? What's your take, first and foremost, on the recent bots, the timeline that I showed earlier on the program?
I'm loose. I can't.
Okay, thank you so much, George. It appears some technology.
Good evening.
Well, good evening, George. It's a good evening to you.
Yes, I'm very much aware of the recent bust and all that, but I'm coming from the standpoint of the whistleblowers. As you know, I drafted the bill that has passed second reading, the Whistleblowers and Witnesses Protection Bill. So, can you hear me?
Absolutely, we can hear you. You are not alone here.
No.
The conversation is going on. Mr. Obo, as it stands now, as a whistleblower and someone who makes a living from private investigation, what do you make of the recent bust on some locations, some residents in Lagos by the EFCC, and some of the monies discovered?
Yes, like I was saying, is the whistleblowers that I'm really concerned about, because when I met with the minister, that is the minister that made the oral pronouncement, the Minister of Finance, I gave all the accolades, because when I started blowing the whistle back in 2013, there wasn't any pronouncement, anything, any law or legal framework. But I did discuss with her too that there are some gray areas involved here. And this is one of them. That we have to have an office of whistleblowers protection, because when you have other agencies handling the whistleblowers, tips from whistleblowers, you're going to have all these problems cropping up. A robust whistleblower protection office, as we have in the US, would have been able to handle these issues very well. I don't really like to discuss issues that are under investigation, but again, when you have whistleblowers, as we have started now, whistleblowers need to have that confidence, and that is the phone calls I get from whistleblowers or would-be whistleblowers, because they want to be assured that when they blow the whistle, that they're going to get the reward, they're going to be fully protected. So when you have this interagency fight going on, it doesn't really all go well for the whistleblower. So that is the angle I'm coming from, that we need to get our priorities right. We need to ensure that once we get tips from whistleblowers, that the expectation from the whistleblower, of course that fiduciary duty is there, that you have to reward them when that whistleblowing tip leads to some form of seizure. Of course, we are aware that there has to be full recovery before they get the 5%. But when, after the seizure occurs, and you have the agencies fighting each other, or people talking about who owns the money or who doesn't own the money, it doesn't give that confidence that whistleblowers, deserve. Again, when you trace the history of whistleblowing, even in the US, I always talk about how whistleblowing in the 1840s in the US was used to eradicate the false claims going on during the Civil War in the U.S., through the Kitam action. And he was able to garner that support because the citizenry, I mean, the masses in the U.S. believed in it. I mean, they were even going to court on behalf of the U.S. government anytime they have information regarding false claims being made. And because of the success, he was able to wipe out the scourge. So when we just started this, again, I applaud the government for embracing it. But when you have whistleblowers, when they start getting disappointed or they feel like they can't trust the government, that is the area I'm coming from, not just the individual, because we haven't even done anything in the whistleblower. I've said consistently that a robust whistleblowers office is going to be busier than 3 ministries in Nigeria put together, because you're going to be getting tips every second. But we need to ensure that we run that office very well. We need to ensure that anybody that blows the whistle, that person is fully rewarded, fully protected, because that whistleblower could metamorphose into a witness if that case goes to court. So that whistleblower has to be protected. I'm not going to talk about the cash fund in Ikoyi, because, I mean, to me, I don't deal with piecemeal issues. I'm looking at building a strong institution.
Okay, talking about building institution, if you just a few seconds before we take a breather on the program, tell us about the operations. Of course, I know you're familiar with issues of investigation of fraud. Tell us, what do you make of the operations of the EFCC, for example? Okay, we will take a breather, but when we return, you will be telling us more on these, the big question on the ownership of the Ikoyi dollars. Find out more on the program.